Hello there and welcome to this advanced webinar using Connect Interactive. My name's Sue. This is the second in my webinars on Connect Interactive. The Getting Started has all the basic tools. So what we're going to do in this webinar is we're just going to look at some more advanced use of Connect Interactive. In particular, I'd like to focus on the monitoring accuracy and selecting your grade points so that you get the most out of your analysis. We'll take a quick look at the strategic area, bit of exporting, and a quick look at custom groups. Just before I get started, do make sure that you visit the Champions homepage and have a look around. There's the handbook, which always has lots of tips and tools on how to get the most from Connect. And also there are a whole series of short videos which will give you a little bit more flavour on some of the tools that I'm demonstrating here. And they are very short. They are sort of 2-3 minutes long. That's it. So I'm going to go into Connect now, and we're going to just have a look around what we've got. So I'm going to start in the monitoring accuracy area. And I'm going to use year 13 grade points, by the way, but equally these apply to all key stages and all qualifications. So what I've got here in the monitoring accuracy area are two areas. Trends historical is just, as you can see, any 2 grade points that you want, and they are going to be compared with each other. So you're going to be able to get a difference in ALPS score, and remember that 0.2 is a grade per student. So I can sort by lowest to highest. Now these 2 grade points are just 2 monitoring points for year 13. And I can see that over the course, let's say MP1 November to MP2 January, just for example, I can see that the exert and applied science has gone up by 0.1. That's half a grade per student. Okay, so what the monitoring accuracy area is allowing me to do is spot any changes to a trend. So for example, English literature's come out of the blue. That's good news, but is it accurate? So it's an area designed to really start looking at the accuracy of your predicting. Now this 2 grade point view, you can use it for all sorts of different things. So if I just go into the selector, which is there, and go to mix and match, and if I just take that year 13, which just gives me year 13 grade points, what I can do is I can clear all my grade points, and I can potentially, there's my MP2, which is the January predicted, and there's the January mocks. So if I OK that, I can then see any discrepancies between those 2 grade points, for example. So you can see, sorting by difference, that some subjects are predicting more than a grade per student jump from the raw mock to the predicted outcome. Going back into the grade point selector, I may want to look at my prediction now compared to, just take year 13, compared to what the department's got last summer. So that's, I know it's a different set of students, but that's last summer, and that's what we're being predicted now. Okay, so I, again, can sort by the difference. I might be exceptionally worried about the diploma in health and social care because it's dropped by over a grade per student. That may be because it's early on in the year still, and the health and social care department are being a little bit more cautious in their predicting. Sociology is definitely a worry there. Look though, that's not a good prediction, and they've not only dropped from the red, but they've dropped into the blue. What you really want to see is something like biology there, which is almost spot on, or computer science, which is almost spot on. What you can also do in this area is you can clear current year 13. That's last summer's exam results. What I want to see is their predictions just before they went into the exam, so April. So what I've now got, sort by the difference, is I've got the X certain sport were predicting a grade 1 and got a 4. That's almost 2 grades of a drop per student. So I'm going to want to keep an eye on that this academic year. Similarly, there's that health and social care again, look, but not the opposite of, so they obviously got a bit of a shock last year and their predictions have gone down as a result. The geography department dropped, and then on the opposite side, the French department predicted horribly and actually got a grade 3. I know it's only 2 students, but their sociology doing the same, look. So that's another conversation, isn't it, to say, is that realistic? The grade 8, we're intervening with the wrong students and actually you're doing a heck of a lot better than you thought you were doing. So that's the historical part of the monitoring accuracy. The trends in year is designed really, you can have more grade points. So I'm going to go back into my selector. It's designed really for your in year, as it says. So if I go back to my year 13s, my current year 13s, let me just clear that. Then I've got my MP2, my mock results, my MP1, and the MPZ was what they started with in September. So I can OK that. And now I've got an in-year trend. Okay, so that's showing me the ups and downs of my trend line. So again, what you want to see probably is that flat line of economics, which is nice and straight. What you don't want to see is up and down fluctuating there, like maths going up and down like a yo-yo there. So they started with a grade 8 prediction, went to a 6, dropped to an 8 for the mocks and have gone back to a 6. So ignoring the mocks, it's an upward trend. If I then pop into maths here, I've got 3 maths groups. There's my monitoring point trend. If I just tick B3 maths, I get that superimposed over the top of the maths group. And there's C3 and there's D3. So that just helps you see how the different teaching sets are doing as opposed to the whole subject. So that's the monitoring accuracy area. Have a play around with that with different grade points. It does assume that you've got lots of different grade points in there, but it's a really powerful section. Okay, so going back to the home page then, let's go into subjects and look at some advanced tools in here. Hopefully you've seen that show teaching sets, which pulls down all the teaching sets there. If we go back into maths again, now the compare buttons. So here's your breakdown, but obviously it only has the standard filters in. So if you want to see any additional filters, then press the compare button, and then you've got the quick groups, high, middle and low prior attainment there, for example, or your custom groups. Now with custom groups, this allows you to build up more than one comparison group. So let's say I wanted to look at white British boys who are disadvantaged. I don't know if I've got any students in this category, but let's have a look. So I can select boys, add, then I can add to that my ethnicity, white British, she says, there we go, and then I can add to that my disadvantaged, add, and then I've got them there, and if I apply that comparison, then that's them there, that number 6 there is them. There can't be very many of them, but that gives you a flavour for what you can do in terms of building up a custom group. So hopefully that helps you to track individual groups. We are looking at advances in Connect to allow that to be a saved group from the beginning of term, and hopefully you can then deal with that right the way through Connect. Okay, so let's reset that. I promised you the strategic area, so let's have a quick look in there. So I'm on MP2. Now remember, you can't get a PDF report for a monitoring point, so I'll just show you how to sort of mimic that and get yourself a PDF report, really, if that's what you rely on for governors meetings or SLT meetings. So if we start with an ALPS template at A level, and you can actually choose your own pages. But if I just select that main provider report, now let's say I want to look at the difference between my let's say my high, middle and low prior retainers. So I can select those three and create that report. And what it gives me is it gives me a page per custom group. So that's my strategic overview all, and that's my high attaining strategic overview. So I can then have a look and see how they're doing compared to the whole cohort. Now you see that little line there? I'm just going to pop that line on, and then it allows you to see the two next to each other. So that's my high and my middle prior retainers. Okay, so I can strategically look at how they're doing, and then by moving across, that's my low prior retainers. And if I want to see the page before it, mid and low, I just click those little link buttons there, and I can see how they're doing. Okay. Now, one of the most powerful pages actually is this, this banded by ability page. Okay, so my banded by ability page sets out my prior attainment bands here, and it shows me how my each prior attainment band is doing across the board. Not very well in this case. My MP2 is still looking a little bit blue, and my mock's even bluer. So let me just break that down by high, middle and low. So if I look at my high attainers, there they are there. They're looking quite blue. So you get the idea, hopefully, that you can see them. Oops, sorry, that was my low prior attainers. So the strategic page just allows you to put custom groups in and view them side by side. Okay, now if I want to export that, I can print that report to a PDF, and I can get all of those pages, or I can take pages out that I don't want, that will allow me then to sit round a table and have that discussion. So that was just about to export onto PDF. Let me drag it onto the screen. So what I've got is a huge number of pages because I had the filter on. But if I move down, you can just get a feel that you can see your report PDF like so. Okay, so that's the strategic area and the strategic pages. If you want a similar report for your subject pages, then if I go back into the subject for MP2 and I now export that to PDF, I get the options of printing on my subject pages or those and the teaching set pages, and I can do various things. I can include all the student names, or I can anonymize my students, or just take them out altogether. So if you play around with that export, you should find between the strategic page and that page that you're actually managing to get a similar PDF to the one that you get for your end of year analysis. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope that's helped. And do have a look at those video shorts, which give you more information on some of the tools. And good luck. Thanks very much for listening. Bye now.